You used me.
I told you once, Superman. If you would not be my knight, you would be my pawn.
I see you're a man of your word.
I am many things, Kal-El. You couldn't begin to imagine half of them. But for now, I shall take the role of executioner. A final gift, my wayward son.
Hey guys, Spanish Heart 18 here, and my Darkseid premium format figure came in from Sideshow a few days ago, so I'll unbox them right now. So here we have the art box, and basically it's just a picture of the product, the Darkseid statue in the front, up against a backdrop of flames, presumably from the fire pit that he's standing on, I guess. And as we go around the box, it's just his belt and the skin, you can see the cracking. The back is his name, and his name's on the top as well. So here we have the box with the Sideshow label in the front. So we'll just lift this up and reveal Darkseid. Just look for the face first. Wow, this face is really light. If I have to compare it, it would be like the Wonder Woman human format figure. I'm really shocked at how light that was. Yeah, this thing's light. Let's see. Yeah, just tap it and feel it. It's hollow. So I have 386 out of 500. The bottom art isn't nothing special. I do see some blue residue right here. I don't know if you can pick that out. But yeah, it feels like a drum. Next, I think I'll go for the body. Oh wow, this guy's freaking heavy. It's a far cry from the base. Yeah, this guy weighs a lot. Wow. It's quite a heft to him. Pretty solid. So I'll just inspect the piece. The paints look pretty good. And line. Don't see any overspray anywhere. Shading on this piece. Okay, let's see. I think I'll go for the hands. This is the right balled up fist. And the shading looks pretty good. And this is equal stretched. Curvy-esque hand. It's not really a complicated piece to screw up. I mean, you can see some shading, some darker blues. That looks pretty good. Go with the PVC piece. Or not PVC, translucent resin. So this is pretty light. I guess these are the magnets that go on the back of the base. See the flame, the fire, the ash, lava shooting up. Okay. And then over the heads. This looks like it's the regular. So yeah, this is the regular head. Yeah, it's light. I don't know. It reminds me of Apokolips as far as like the lightness of the head. But the paint apps look pretty good. There are no pupils there, so no googly eyes. I love how they glossed up the eyes to make it look like he's ready to fire out his mega beams. frown. So for the last thing here, this is the exclusive head, which came with the 500 exclusive statues for this piece. I think the regular is 1,000. It just came with the regular head. So looking at it close, yeah. I think the factory did a good job. Not a complicated piece by any means, but I'll see the paint slop. The cracks. I wish they would have went with more of a black wash with the cracking and the teeth. That was my big gripe with the production pics. The teeth didn't really look. It was just too uniform. It didn't really stand out against the skin. So I think a black wash would have helped with the separation of the teeth, just to make it stand out more. So with that said, I think I'll put them all together. So Darkseid basically comes in 7 pieces. First off is the base, and it's really light. The paint apps on the base are okay. I wish maybe they would have had more vibrant reds, just to have the magma seeping out of the rock, and maybe more of a vibrant color for the orange on the other side. So I'll put the body next. The body is heavy compared to the base, and it basically pegs into these 2 holes. So it's a pretty simple statue. Just line it up. And I love the coloring here. I think Gunshy pointed out in his review that there was this coloration, so it can reflect off of the flame bit on the back. That was something I didn't really notice on the production pics, but I think that was a really cool effect. It kind of reminds me of the Mythos statue for Darth Vader. I mean, I think some people were complaining about that, as far as maybe being too orange, but this is in the back, so. But it's a really cool effect. So now we go with the red fist. Just watch out for the magnets. It's not super strong, but it is adequate. And then I think I'll go with the regular. So here we have Lord of Apokolips, all in his glory. Darkseid first appeared in the pages of Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen 134 in 1970 when legendary comic book artist Jack Kirby jumped ship from Marvel to DC Comics. He used his creative ideas that he wanted to use for Thor and Ragnarok, which was the event in which all the Old Norse gods died, to give birth to the Fourth World, the Source, and the new gods. It's even said that these elements of the Fourth World saga have shaped George Lucas and his vision for Star Wars. High Father of New Genesis and Darkseid from Apokolips waged war against each other for millennia until a truce was formed with the exchange of their sons Orion and Mr. Miracle. Darkseid was a manipulative prince named Euxus, who overthrew his older brother and mother to rule his planet Apokolips and gain the Omega Effect. The Omega Effect was a form of energy passed down in Darkseid's family that gave Darkseid his vast array of omnipotent powers, such as deleting things from existence, transmutation, multiversal and time travel, teleportation, and the power of life and death. It's mainly focused from his eyes as Omega beams, and he has absolute mastery over them. He also has great strength, speed, telepathy, telekinesis, and is a highly skilled warrior. But perhaps his most terrifying trait is his intellect. Darkseid is a master strategist and schemer who often plays the long con, manipulating everyone from the shadows. He is basically the big bad in the DC universe. Darkseid's ultimate goal is to eliminate all free will from the universe and to reshape it into his own image. This leads him to his search to solve the anti-life equation, which he thinks resides in humans. So this makes Darkseid a perfect foil for Superman. Where Superman inspires hope in people to do great things, Darkseid instead thrives in despair and preying on all the insecurities and doubts that exist in people. My recommended reading list for Darkseid would be the Legion of Superheroes The Great Darkness Saga, the original New Gods miniseries by Jack Kirby, the Hunger Dogs graphic novel, the Legends crossover, Final Crisis, and my favorite read, Rock of Ages by Grant Morrison during his JLA run. Also check out Superman the Animated Series, where Bruce Timm and Paul Dini managed to make Darkseid into a very compelling villain. Michael Ironside's portrayal of the character is so well done that he is my definitive Darkseid.
A fast death, infinitely preferable to the shame of returning to Earth. There your legacy would be one of fear and distrust. A pariah desperately chasing the favor of a world that cursed your name.
So after putting the statue together, I have to admit I was a bit let down at first after waiting for so long due to damage from the first shipment 10 months ago. So let's address the cons first. There are some cheap aspects to the statue, such as how really light the base and portraits feel. I weighed the statue at around 15.8 pounds, with the base making up 5.6 pounds. It makes me think whether Darkseid was originally intended to have light up features on the base and the eyes. Also, watch out for the magnets in the forearms. They're adequate, but may come off if jarred. But this issue can easily be fixed by scraping off the paint if it covers the magnet. Lastly, the high price point for this statue seems rather puzzling given the simplicity of the piece. Compared to Aquaman, Green Lantern, Lex Luthor, Lobo, and Red Sonja to name a few examples, Darkseid seems rather lacking in terms of accessories or special features. You definitely get more bang for your buck with the other statues. It just feels like we are paying more for the character that was never done at this scale instead of what we get in the package. I would have liked to seen either some Jack Kirby art for the art box, and a mega beam effect of pliable PVC or light up eyes and base, or switch out arms for his iconic behind the back boss pose to justify the high price point. And now for the pros. While this statue may have many similarities to the Apokolips premium format, they differ in one important aspect. The QC is pretty damn good on this piece. Granted, it is a pretty uncomplicated and basic statue. Most of the paint apps are pretty spot on for the heads, base, and the body. Both heads are painted really well. The regular head fits the character with its reserved looking scowl. The glossy effect on the eyes give off the illusion that they are glowing and that Darkseid is ready to fire off his Omega Beams. The factory did a good job with the paint apps with no significant paint slop around the face. The shading behind the helmet highlights some indirect lighting and gives the helmet a luster. The exclusive head is also well painted. The eyes are glossy, the gritted teeth expression is expressive to the point that he looks pissed off and ready to beat the crap off of someone or something. The rear of the helmet has similar shading as the regular head. However, I do wish that the factory used a black wash over the cracks and the teeth to accentuate the features. It would have made the teeth stand out from the skin color more and shown some separation between each individual tooth. Next, Pablo Vigiano's sculpt is a work of art and a true selling point of the piece. The musculature of the body and the way the tunic both hug and rest against the body are highlights. The factory did a great job with the shading on the suit, using dark blues to break up the outfit and give it more depth. The sculpted folds and creases of the tunic are really impressive, giving it a sense of motion instead of a suit that's just painted on. And the back muscles are just incredible. Geo-Man would be proud. The mother box on the belt is a cool nod and a nice touch. The body has a good weight to it, and though not my ideal pose, Darkseid looks very imposing in a classical yet dynamic way for a museum pose. His outstretched hand looks as if he is ready to unleash his army of parademons upon New Genesis or Earth. In my opinion, the Sideshow team have successfully captured the classic 70s and 80s era Darkseid to a T. They even included the knee-high jackboots that allude to Hitler being Kirby's inspiration of the character. Size-wise, in his classic comic version as well as the Timverse, he was a shade taller than Superman. Here, I measured him at around 26 inches high, about 20 inches in length and 14 inches wide. so he is similar in height to Superman, though he is standing lower on his base to compensate. So all in all, while I do think Darkseid is overpriced, he's definitely not shelf padding. I think he is a very solid piece, but I would recommend waiting for a discount to get more bang for your buck. International collectors, keep in mind that you can stack multiple coupons from previous orders for a maximum of $50, so that will help offset some of those pesky value-added tax charges. If you have the Trinity and are looking to pair them with a villain, then Darkseid is more than a worthy candidate due to his significance as one of the main villains in the DC universe. He'll fit in with a classical themed JLA lineup if you aren't willing to invest in the Legion of Doom as well, but in my opinion, he's a perfect complement with the Superman premium format in both how they look together and as a foil for what each character ultimately represents. A lot of collectors may not share my sentiment, but for me nostalgia won out with this statue. I grew up with the Superpowers cartoon, and his portrayal by Michael Ironside in Superman the Animated Series is my definitive Darkseid, so I had to have this piece. Just looking at it, I can just picture Michael Ironside's gravelly voice.
I am many things, Kal-El, but here I am God.
Not picking this statue up would have nagged at me, seeing that I really wanted this piece. So what do you think? Do you think Sideshow should have added a light up feature to justify the cost? Should they have made Darkseid bigger, as in Superman Batman the Supergirl from Krypton story arc? Are you planning to pick up the piece down the line at a discount? Please feel free to chime in down in the comments, as I'd be interested to hear your thoughts. As always guys, thanks for watching. This is Spanish Heart signing off. Keep on collecting guys.